I'm the category manager for premium chocolates at Mondelez India. We're very glad to have you join us for the official launch of the fourth edition of Mondelez India's Business Case Challenge, Mondelez Maestros, with the support from Unstop, who is hosting us live today. I'm really excited to see the number of comments that are coming in. Let's keep the interaction and the tempo of this interaction quite up and high. Over to you, Rohita.
Thanks, Ashwin. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rohita and I'm the category manager for Milk Food Drinks India, and I'll be co-moderating the session with Ashwin today. Before we kickstart the launch, a real heartfelt thank you to all of you for joining us today and showing the interest to associate with Mondelez Maestros. This is our fourth year of Mondelez Maestros. We started with just 7 campuses, increased that to 20, and this year we've been able to expand to as many as 30 campuses. So we are looking forward to all of you registering and participating in this competition. Moreover, if the response from the last 3 seasons is any indication, we expect this season to be even more thrilling and more competitive, and more importantly, more exciting and more fun. We also have a very interesting topic for this year. So we're looking forward to hearing from all of you on your amazing ideas.
Oh, that sounds very exciting, Rohita. And I can't wait for the launch and hear more about it. Let's get today's agenda going by taking a quick peek into Mondelez and what makes it so special. Mondelez International empowers people to snack right in over 150 countries around the world. We are leading the future of snacking with iconic global and local brands. We are one of the largest snack companies in the world with global net revenues of more than $30 billion.
Yeah, and Mondelez has been in India, albeit in a different avatar, for 75 years. And that's our heritage. We are a snacking powerhouse. We're the proud makers and bakers of the most iconic and the most loved brands in India, be it Oreo, 5 Star, Bonvita, Perk, Tang, and of course, Cadbury Dairy Milk. So let us look at a quick video, which is a thank you to you as well, since you're one of our consumers. Can we please play the manifesto video?
Thank you. Thank you for all the times we've crunched,
Cracked,
munched,
dunked.
twisted, and mmm'd together.
Thank you for all the love you've shown us. Returning that love is what inspires us.
At Mondelez International, we understand that the way you live is changing the way you eat. And that you don't want to choose between snacking and eating right.
Right for a delicious bite. Right for your well-being. Right for our planet. That's why at Mondelez International, we want to make snacking right.
All around the world, our makers and bakers are passionate about bringing you the right snack.
For the right moment, made the right way.
Mondelez International. Snacking made right.
All right, with that, let's get into the launch. The flow of today's launch event is going to be like this. We'll give you an overview of the business challenge this year and what made us decide on this particular case. Right after that, we get into talking about some key trends which will provide the right context about the case. So watch out for that. And last but not the least, we will take some of the questions that you all might have. We would love to hear your questions, reflections, suggestions. So please feel free to use the chat box. Our team of chat moderators will relay it all back to us. I can clearly see that there's a hashtag battle going on in the comment section between the various B schools. Keep that happening. And now, can we have the official curtain raiser, please?
I don't think I can remember a better feeling, at least professionally speaking, than the one I had when our name was announced as winners.
It's like months and months and months of hard work finally comes to fruition.
We felt this instant relief, which was much more than joy because it is daunting.
And you cannot just win it.
You need to have that drive, that crazy, passionate, dark streak in you.
Wow. So, hope that gave you a glimpse into what's in store for Maestros this time. We are super excited to see how this unfolds, and we hope you are too. While Mondelez Maestros is only in its fourth year since inception, we have been positively overwhelmed by the enthusiasm and love that you've shown us. Last year, we had witnessed a whopping 6,000 registrations from the top B school students in India. This year, we have already received more than 8,000 registrations, and we're hoping to get a lot more. We hope that this year's challenge gives your brain cells a good workout while exposing you to the nuances of sales and marketing in one of the biggest FMCG companies in the world.
Thanks, Rohita. And with that, I would like to invite on screen our panel members to join us and get the much awaited session going. So we have with us a panel of Mondelez India leaders who shall unbox and unveil the business challenge for us. Let me introduce you to Mr. Nitin Saini, who's the Vice President, Marketing India, Mr. Vikram Karwal, who's the Senior Director, Chocolates India, Mr. Apurv Agarwal, who's the Manager, Net Revenue Management. Thank you, panelists, for joining us at the launch event of Mondelez Maestros. Hope you're all having a great day.
But I think, Ashwin, before we get down to the case, in the true Mondelez tradition, just wanted to do a little bit of a fun check-in. And maybe, we'll direct this one to Vikram, you. So we have a small question for you before we get on. Will it really be great if you can share with us what's been the most memorable experience that you've had in Mondelez and also the why of it?
Yeah, thank you, Rohita, and hello, everyone. I think I've been with Mondelez for 19 years now, so I have had many memorable experiences, and it has been a great journey so far for me. Uh, I think one of the experiences that really stands out for me is my stint in the global innovation team. So, very early on in my career, I was lucky to get an opportunity to get a break to work in the global innovation team. And as part of that team, I got to work on projects in various countries across Asia, Europe, and Africa. And that was very, very enriching for me. I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of different consumers, got to know about different cultures. And also, it helped me build my business understanding and gave me a lot of perspective with regards to the chocolate category that I work in. So, yeah, so that was, I would say, that's really one of the most enriching experiences I've had. It brought me much more closer to what Mondelez really stands for.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vikram. And I think, very interesting share, I'm sure, for the team as well. For the next section, I'll just hand over to Ashwin, you, and Nitin.
Great. Thank you, Rohita, and welcome, Nitin. And with that, we move on to the most awaited panel discussion and unpack this year's theme and challenge. So first of all, I would like to start with you, Nitin, and understand what the journey of Mondelez Maestros has been over the last 3 years, and how does this business competition fit into our talent strategy?
Thank you, Ashwin. And also a big thank you to everyone for being part of this discussion today. I would say, Ashwin, to your question that Mondelez has always stood for bringing in something unique and innovative to the table. And, if you look at it in that regard, Maestros is very well aligned to that proposition, since it encourages students to present a fresh perspective to an important business challenge. And over the years, this is our fourth edition, but if I look at over the last 3 years, we have had an overwhelmingly good response to Mondelez Maestros. And it is something we are looking forward to this year as well. The platform, of course, allows us to reach to a diverse set of campuses and identify potential talent through an important and live business challenge. So, really looking forward to the fourth edition of Maestros this year.
Thank you, Nitin. And looks like we are off to a great start. I can see, we've crossed some 7,000 odd registrations, some very good engagement happening even at the chat window. So, I mean, looking forward to how this evening pans out. But moving on, what is your opinion of how to grow one's commercial career in an FMCG organization? Is there any reason we have decided to make a case, a holistic commercial case this year, instead of being it specific to sales or a marketing case?
I mean, that's a great question, Ashwin. And if you look at a commercial career, I think a commercial career in any organization, but particularly in a FMCG or a CPG organization, it requires a good understanding of both sales and marketing. So both push and pull. And it allows one to be a more well-rounded commercial professional. And that is definitely the philosophy we have at Mondelez India. So this case that we have, and they will discuss more around the case, will encourage students to don both the hats to form a holistic perspective and make recommendation that is holistic, commercially holistic in nature. So I would say to your question, important to be important to have both sales and marketing acumen to do well in a commercial career. And by the way, also great to hear the engagement that you spoke about. So and you're right, I think there is great energy. So really looking forward now.
Thank you, Nitin. And that's a great perspective that you've sort of brought in from a commercial career point of view. And we have one final question for you. So, what is your thought on this year's business challenge? And is there any specific reason that we've chosen the same?
Yes, absolutely. And I think when the team was looking at what can the case be, I think it was very important, first of all, for us to make sure that it is a live business issue that we present in front of campuses and students. And that is exactly what it is. If you look at the chocolate category in India, it is pretty much milk chocolate that sells. But Mondelez, with its task of expanding the category, is looking at building relevance of dark chocolate in India, led by the Boneville brand. And then looking at it not just from a marketing standpoint, but from an overall commercial standpoint. So you're looking forward to what comes out at the end of this exercise, looking for some fresh ideas, some fresh perspective in building relevance of dark chocolate in India. So definitely a live business case that the business has been discussing now over a number of months.
Great, great. I mean, nice to hear that, Nitin. And thank you so much for your really valuable perspectives and for giving us a background on this case. I will now hand it over to Rohita and invite Vikram as well on stage.
Thank you. Thanks, Ashwin. And thanks a lot, Nitin, for sharing your thoughts. I think with that, it's now time to unveil this year's business challenge to the students. And for that, I would now request Vikram to talk about the dark chocolate category in India and why Mondelez has a right to win in this category with its lead dark chocolate brand, Boneville. Can we have the case on screen as well?
Great. Thank you, Rohita. So let me start by talking a little bit about Mondelez. I'm sure most of you would be aware of the company, but let me share a few facts. We are a global snacking powerhouse with revenue upwards of $30 billion globally. We are number one when it comes to biscuits, number two in chocolates, and in India, we are leaders in chocolate category. And we have a portfolio which is a mix of global brands like Cadbury Dairy Milk and Oreo. And we also have local jewels like Five Star and Gems, as many of you would be aware of. It's a very strong portfolio, and we have been present in India for the last 75 years, starting around 1948, winning the love and trust of consumers. over the last 75 years. In terms of category development in India, definitely, Dairy Milk has been the brand which has been leading category development in India. It is driving very strong cultural relevance, and many of us, we have grown up with Dairy Milk brand, and we have very fond memories of our childhood with regard to Cadbury Dairy Milk. We have built this category over the last 75 years by building strong relevance for dairy milk, by associating it with different occasions, traditional occasions, and modern and casual occasions as well. But of late, we have seen resurgence of dark chocolate in the market. This is one segment which is now growing very well, almost 2 times that of regular chocolate category growth. This is obviously something which we had anticipated, and we launched Boneville as a dark chocolate brand in India. We are the pioneers. We initiated this in 2008. And over the last 3-4 years, obviously, we have seen a lot of inflection on this category. There is a lot of interest that is coming from consumers with all the discussions going on, all the recommendations coming from the influencer community, from the chefs, talking about the benefits and the indulgence of dark chocolate and its applications in bakery as well. It is obviously picking the interest of the consumers. Yes, I mean, a lot of interest coming from consumers. Penetration of the category obviously continues to be very, very low. It's a nascent category, less than 5% penetration, but with a very strong CAGR and growth rates in the last 4 to 5 years, right? And as you can see, there are many players in the market now. We are not the only ones. Of late, a competition also is sensing this opportunity and getting aggressive in the market with the presence of brands like Amul. There are a lot of artisanal players also present in the market, like Paul and Mike, Mason, Didier and Frank. And of course, then you have host of international brands which are also sensing this opportunity and eyeing India as a big growth lever for them, like Lindt and Ghirardelli, right? So it is definitely a great opportunity for us. We, being the market leaders, definitely want to make sure that we are building the category. We are building the dark chocolate segment in India. In terms of potential, India obviously is very low right now in terms of where dark chocolate category stands. It is 2% of the total segment, roughly about 40-50 million on retail sales value. And if you were to compare it to some of the developed markets where dark chocolate can be upwards of 15-20%. So you can see the headroom that we have in India. Even if you were to become 10% of the total chocolate market in India, you're looking at a $250 million business on retail sales value, right? And that's a massive opportunity from the current level of $40-50 million that we are today, right? So that's really the opportunity in dark chocolate. It's an opportunity to create segment and take leadership. It's an opportunity to establish Boneville as the brand which leads this category creation for us and stands for the best taste of dark chocolate in India, right? So let me go on to the ask, therefore. Rohita, if you can move to the next slide. Really, there are 3 asks from all of you. First is, can we bring a little bit better understanding of what are the levers which are driving dark chocolate category in India? What is really the need that it caters to when it comes to consumption? So what's the consumer understanding in this context? What is the source of growth for this category? Is it heavy chocolate users? Is it people who are not yet there in the category, or people who are having a refined palate and looking for sophisticated eat experiences? Where are they living? Are they in urban areas or affluent households? So what's the nature of the consumer who are keen on this kind of experiences? Also, what are the triggers and barriers to consumption? What is standing in the way? Why is it not picking up as much as we would like it to? what can expedite the growth of this category is very important for us to understand. And therefore, in that context, what kind of interventions can we make to accelerate that growth? So the objectives obviously is to do a situation assessment of the category landscape in India as it stands today. What is working, what is not working, what are the drivers and barriers, what's the consumer, who's the consumer that is keen on this kind of category, and what stands in the way. So our ask really from all of you would be, share your big idea with us. Basis the understanding of the consumer and the category that you build through your work, what do you think should be the big idea that Mondelez should pursue towards long-term development, and also to build a competitive advantage while building this category to stay ahead of the competition, and also to accelerate this segment growth in terms of the 4 Ps, what's the right proposition, what's the right product, price, packaging, so on and so forth. And obviously, when we talk about a big idea, it is not just about the 4 Ps. I mean, it's also about sales and marketing combined. So what should be the right strategy for us to drive this category growth? What's the right route to market that will help us to accelerate? What's the right proposition? And also, if there are any activation thoughts, any key interventions that we can bring to drive growth, then what it should be. I'll stop here. This is broadly the summary of the ask, but look forward to questions and clarification. I'm sure you have a few questions on your mind. I'm happy to pick them up.
Thanks, Vikram, for walking us through the case challenge. And actually, we do have a couple of questions right away for you. I think one question is, what, according to you, are really the key reasons why Mondelez wants to expand the dark chocolate category in India?
Yeah, look, like I said, it's a big consumer opportunity. It's a big business opportunity as the category grows in India. And right now, the per capita consumption in India would be around 200 grams, right? And compare it to markets like Australia, where it will be 5 kilograms, and UK, where it will be close to 10 kilograms per year. We have a huge headroom to grow. And as the category grows, all segments of the category will grow. The milk chocolate will also grow, and the dark chocolate will also grow. So it's important for us to take lead in that. And so that's the business opportunity, and that's why we are excited and keen on growing this and taking a lead. We also have seen, as I was sharing with you, there is very aggressive competitive play as well, because everybody sees this as a big opportunity, and we want to definitely stay ahead in this game as we do the category creation. So those are the key reasons why we want to enter this segment.
Thanks, Vikram. And one other question that we had is, and if you'd want to touch upon it, on what's really the difference between the milk chocolate category and the dark chocolate category?
Yeah, I mean, these two categories obviously are very different categories. Dark chocolate is something which would typically have cocoa content above 50%, and milk chocolate typically has about 25-30% cocoa content in it. It serves very different needs. Typically, as we understand from our consumers, milk chocolate are considered as everyday treats, and whereas dark chocolates perhaps would appeal to a little bit more discerning palate, more of a indulge and pamper, as we call it, to sophisticated consumers. So they are catering to very different needs, very different set of consumers, and of course they have a very different sensorial delivery in terms of the intensity of cocoa and chocolate taste.
Thanks for that, Vikram. I think one final last question that we have is, if you could tell us what are some of the key themes that are important while addressing this case challenge?
Yeah, I would say two themes are very important. Look, this is a nascent category. We never had cheese or Greek yogurts or wines in India 10 to 15 years back, but now people are consuming those products, right? So somewhere we need to drive trials. We need to educate consumers in terms of building relevance, in terms of building usage, in terms of the vocabulary to be able to appreciate a good product. So educating the consumers is a very big theme around dark chocolate category, and building relevance in terms of when to consume, why to consume. That is another very, very important theme when it comes to building this category. And of course, the other important one is building trials. So it's only through driving trials that you will be able to retain some consumers who will then regularize consumption. So driving trials remains very, very important for us. So those two themes, I would say, are very, very critical. And the last one is obviously building the right proposition, which is long lasting, which gives us the competitive advantage over competition, is also going to be very, very critical.
Thank you so much, Vikram. Thanks for sharing this with us. I think with that, I would just hand over to Ashwin.
Great. Thanks, Vikram and Rohita, and thank you for those valuable inputs. I'm sure it would help the students a long way. So if I can, bring Apurva on screen. So, hi, Apurva. Good evening.
Hey, Ashwin. Good evening.
Great. Apurva, so just wanted to, get your perspective. I think, would you share any tips on how to sort of crack this case in a holistic manner?
So yeah, thanks for the question, Ashwin. Very interesting, and reminds me back of my B school days when we would get together and try and give this a go. A couple of things which I would think definitely would help. A, B, keep it exciting. I mean, it shouldn't be a dull monologue where somebody, I mean, it doesn't hold engagement for us. It wouldn't hold engagement with the audience, and hence would submit that there should be some exciting, there should be some surprise element. That's what the joy of the fun is, what Mondelez is about. Second, apart from the idea, the process of getting to the idea is also very important. So I would encourage the teams to dig deeper, to question why they are recommending something, and that will lead to the process of coming to the idea being more refined, leading to hopefully a better recommendation at the end. And thirdly, I would submit, and this is what Nitin also touched upon, to balance between the push and the pull levers. There is a marketing side which creates demand for the product, and there's the sales side which enables the distribution of the product at the right stores. So these three would be my inputs: keep it exciting, dig deeper into the problem statement, and third, balance between the push and the pull levers.
No, great, Apurva. I think that's quite a important perspective to have, and thanks for tabling that. And if I can just sort of have a follow up question, as someone who's representing sales here in the panel, would you have any suggestions on what are the key factors to be kept in mind on how sales can help in category creation?
Sure. I think, I mean, having had some time, having been in sales for some time, I think there are two factors which specifically in this problem statement are important from a sales perspective. A, being at the right stores, and B, executing it in those stores in the right manner. And I'll elaborate on it. We have a great example of Cadbury Dairy Milk, which has been a love mark in the consumers within chocolates in India. And we have done it in a very methodical manner. So, for example, and I'll go slightly deeper and I'll take a minute there, Ashwin. For example, in Dairy Milk, we have prices all the way from 5 rupee pack to 150 and 200 rupee packs, right? The 20 rupee pack, the objective is to drive trials, to drive consumers to experience Dairy Milk in the right way. It is important that that's available in almost every store you go to. So every store you walk into, you should have a rupees 20 Dairy Milk there. At the same time, we do have packs which are home treat packs. They're supposed to drive pantry and in-home consumption. And hence, grocery stores, your modern trade stores, your e-com stores become an important channel for those packs. So identifying right stores where, and Dairy Milk is a great example, is important from a sales perspective. Second, we live in a tropical country, and in tropical country, you do have a problem of chocolates melting. Hence, getting the chocolate placed inside the Visi cooler and executing it right, because in impulse categories, visibility drives almost 60 to 70% of the sales. So in-store execution, cold chain infrastructure, and executing it right end to end does enable a lot of sales for our products. And hence, it's important for every sales aspirant out there to focus on right stores as well as right execution when they're thinking of solving for this case.
No, that's great to hear, Apurva. And I think I agree with you. I think it's important to have a balance between being mentally available and equally important to be physically available, right? So that the consumers can reach you as well. So thanks a lot for those tips, Apurva. And may I now sort of hand it over to Rohita?
Thanks, Apurva, and thank you to all the panelists. I'm sure that students have gained significant perspective about the challenge now and how do they go about tackling it. With this, would request Shifali to come on screen. So, Shifali, welcome to the discussion today.
Thank you, Rohit.
Shifali has been part of our flagship Taste the Future Management Training Program, batch of 2023. She's done her MBA in HR from XLRI Jamshedpur, and she will talk about the challenge, the submission formats, and the timelines for the competition. So, over to you, Shifali.
Thank you, Rohita, for taking the time to introduce me. So, hello everyone. I'm sure you're really excited, and I can see that there are a lot of questions about the format. So, let you be assured, I'll be taking this section up. Now, as many of you may know, registrations are already open, and we have actually now extended the timelines. And the last day for registering has now become 6th of November, and we will be looking forward to your idea by the 8th of November. Now, moving on to what stage one is, which is basically sharing your big idea, right? In this stage, basically, what you're supposed to do is you have to propose how Mondelez India can win in dark with Bonville. The first submission format is video only, and that video should not be more than 120 seconds or 2 minutes. Now, the first submission has to happen on or before the 8th of November 2023. The second stage is where you will refine your idea a little bit more. So, this is for the top 90 shortlisted teams where they will further detail out their ideas and submit it in a suitable audio or visual format. Now, the second submission format is again a video only, and a PPT can be embedded inside if you want. And the video should not be more than 300 seconds or about 5 minutes. This submission will happen in the month of December. And I want to also make it clear that PPTs can be embedded in both stage one and stage two within your video submissions. But the final submission has to be in a video format only. Now, moving on to stage three, which is the inter-campus battle. Top 15 teams are going to tweak their current submissions and then submit it in a suitable PPT format. And here there will be no video submissions. If you are selected for this stage, you will be invited for two major things. The first one is consumer immersions, where basically you will get to test your idea with your proposed target group, and we will provide you the resources to talk to the consumers. And the second thing is team mentors, where basically at this stage you will be assigned mentors who are experts in the field. So you can leverage their insights from the real time research and their mentoring as well to tweak or flesh out your idea. So the submission format for this will be a PPT format of maximum 7 slides, and the submission for this would be in the month of January. And the final stage is stage 4, which is the grand finale and the grander roast. No details about that will be disclosed, guys. Now let's get back. Thank you, Rohita. We can take over.
Thanks, Shifali. Thank you for sharing this and laying it out very clearly for us. With that, I think we would now like to open the floor for any questions that you would have for our panelists today. And while you put in your questions in the chat box, what I will do is address some of the questions that have come in meanwhile from the Unstop team. They've collected it from you over the last few weeks, so we can take some of those questions up. And maybe the first question, Shifali, you could help us answer. One of the questions that's come to us is, do we make simple videos of us explaining our solution on Zoom, projecting the presentation made by us, or the panel expect professionally edited videos with infographics? Any other suggestions as to how we can stand out in this format of submission?
Okay, so of course, we're not expecting any professionally edited videos from anybody. All we're interested in is your idea. Of course, the way as creative as you want to be in the video is up to you. Now, you can embed PPTs like I mentioned, have it showing. In fact, there was even a question about whether it can just be our audio and a PPT playing. Please try to refrain from doing that, because the whole point of having a video submission is so that we can see you and see your idea and see how it plays out. So make sure that you are present, and there is no point for having a professionally edited video. So major focus going on to the idea that you are presenting.
Thanks, Shivali. I think the second question was also on, should the video be a pitch video with the team members explaining the big idea in front of the camera, or should it be an edited video with different cuts and scenes and shots of presentation slides? So
Right. So again, it needn't be that. It's just an elevator pitch, guys, the first one. So the first round, keep it brief and make sure that you touch upon the key points that you are exactly trying to convey. So thank you, Rohita. Over to you.
thank you. Thanks, Shifali. I think next set of questions would request Vikram to take up. Vikram, we have some questions that have come in on, can we introduce a new product in the Bonville category? Or is it about positioning the existing products into the deliverables mentioned in the case? Or is it both? If you could just help clarify.
Yeah. No. So look, I think it is about both. There are no guardrails, right? If you guys believe that the current proposition for the brand is not working, and you have an idea in mind how we should talk to consumers about what is the right message to be given, feel free to propose. If you feel that the current product is not working and it is not suiting to the palate of Indian consumers, and we should go to something different, please feel free to propose. So there are no guardrails. Please question everything, all four P's, and present your ideas on how you feel should be the right solution or the right idea that can really work towards achieving this objective.
That's great, Vikram. I think another question that we received from the team is, can we change the existing Bonville product for category penetration, or do we use the existing ones in the current 4P for the brand?
Again, similar answer. I mean, if you feel that the current product is, the objective is clear, right? I think the objective is to drive penetration. And if you feel in the service of that objective, the current product doesn't work, you can challenge it. Okay. So up to you.
Great. I think we've had some very good inputs coming in, and I'm sure the kind of insights everyone has shared would also go a long way in enriching the case challenge as well. So thank you, panelists, for joining us and sharing your insights with the students. And more importantly, thank you, students, for associating with Mondelez Maestros and showing enthusiasm. We shall meet again at the grand finale, which we are all looking forward to, where the format of the finale will be a very unique roast, right? So be prepared for that. Work, like Apurva said, you need to dig deeper into your case. That's where the magic lies. Till then, take care, stay safe, and snack right. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.